So I got a message off a friend the other day, and she was interested about learning how to become a copywriter in 2025. So this is why I'm making this video. It's like an answer to her, and also exactly what I'd do if I was starting copywriting in 2025, because copywriting has changed so much over the last 10, 15, 20 years, especially now with the rise of AI. So it is a lot different. There are a lot more different steps that people take, but the foundational steps are still the same. So I want to dive into a couple of different talking points in this video to help you get started as a copywriter in 2025. So I guess it's worth pointing out first why copywriting still works and still will be a prominent force in marketing and a legitimate way to build an income online even now, because people see all this AI stuff and think, well, isn't AI just going to take all my jobs? Is a copywriter going to become not needed? And my answer to that is, all you have to do is switch your mind frame and think about it differently. Instead of thinking that AI is going to take your jobs, what you can do as a copywriter is leverage AI and become a copywriter who uses AI, right? So businesses, anyone selling products or services, like, you always need persuasion to sell stuff, and persuasion is a part of human psychology that has been around since the existence of humans, and it's not going anywhere. We just have to adapt to a changing landscape, right? So businesses still need persuasion, which then means copywriting is still legitimate and still a valid business model for you to look into. AI hasn't taken anyone's jobs. It has just changed the game of how us as copywriters have to look at writing, marketing, getting clients, fulfilling work, everything. Doesn't mean that it's going to take your job. I mean, the best way to think about this is that it will only take your job if you believe it will take your job. My next step in this is about choosing a niche instead of choosing a platform. So nowadays we've got tons of different platforms where you can go and make money as a copywriter on platforms, say like Fiverr, which to me is kind of bottom of the barrel stuff. Like, you're always competing against hundreds of other people who are always just going to undercut you, and then you end up just charging nothing for your services and nobody wins at all. So I wouldn't really use Fiverr or these websites like that, because it's always a constant competition. I would rather first pick a niche of copywriting that you want to focus on. Sorry, my t-shirt's huge. And pick a niche, right? So if you've got 10 years in the fitness industry as a personal trainer, which I had previous to starting copywriting, does it not make sense to maybe work with people like you, because you know your pain points, you know what they struggle with, you know all this stuff, instead of going into a niche that you've no idea about and trying to understand the avatar, trying to understand all the pain points in something that you've got no experience in. So have a look back at your own experience of what's led you to starting copywriting, and see if there is a niche within that, because I'm sure there is, that you can leverage your own experience on. I think that's a really big cheat code for anyone looking to get started with copywriting. So don't just look at the platforms, don't look at Fiverr and all that stuff. First of all, pick a niche. So you could say, for example, you help fitness coaches or just coaches, you help online coaches make more money from their email lists. Things like that, like a specific kind of niche. Not too broad, not too specific, but stake your sword in the floor and stand for something. And this might take you a little bit of time to figure out what your niche is and the type of copy you want to create, but I will jump into the types of copy and different ideas for offers later in this video. Okay, now we're going to talk about ChatGPT and just AI in general, because people seem to in my experience, I use AI and ChatGPT and all these tools a lot. I use them daily to automate tasks, to help me speed up the process of things, to help me with a lot of stuff. And I feel a lot of copywriters are like shying away from using it because they think, well, if I use ChatGPT, then it's going to get seen by all these other people and it's just not going to be my work. People think that the more work they put in, the more money they're entitled to, kind of thing, but it doesn't really work like that. You get paid as a copywriter based on the results that you can produce. So think of AI as your wingman, not the competition. So you can use it for brainstorming ideas, coming up with hooks, angles, helping you draft copy. But then you also need to add your own empathy and insights into that. That's the key part of it. So always remember that. Never just rely on tools like ChatGPT, but use them as a wingman. Use them as your partner in crime. Something like that. Now let's talk about portfolios, because this is a thing that a lot of new copywriters think they need to have. And yes, it's like a chicken and egg situation. Why would somebody hire you if they don't know you can produce provable work or results that generate work that generates results? And if you're not trustworthy, why would they hire you? So it's logical to have a portfolio of work that shows, hey, I'm good at this thing, here's a selection of my work. But if you're just starting as a copywriter, how do you have a portfolio if you've got no clients? And how do you get clients without a portfolio? That's the chicken and egg thing with copywriting. Which came first, the client or the testimonial, you know? So what we can do, and I got this saying from Ali Abdaal, another YouTuber in the space, he calls it a permissionless apprenticeship. Now when you're just starting out as a copywriter, time in the game is key. You need to be writing every single day. You need to be doing work, understanding copywriting every single day. That's how you hone your skill with anything. You put the hours in. There's no shortcuts here. So how do we do the permissionless apprenticeship? Well, you go and find 5 to 10 different brands online, or 5 to 10 different landing pages that, like, in the niche and the type of copywriting you want to write in, and you rewrite their branding, you rewrite their email landing page, you rewrite their emails. Just, no one has to see any of this. You do it for yourself, and that is your portfolio. Doesn't matter that nobody has used or seen the work, but when you're speaking to clients, right, potential clients, they don't care who you've written for really. They would rather know that, one, you're a genuine human being, and two, you have work ethic and you back up what you're saying, right? So if they ask for samples of your work, you can just pull out this Google Drive link and say, hey, look, there's a couple of relatable pieces of work I've done in here, and just be super transparent and honest with people. Honesty and transparency and authenticity with the rise of AI is the most critical thing here, because everybody knows you can cheat with AI and you can get it to write all this stuff without you having any input. People know all that. So the more that you can be authentic and transparent, the more you will gain someone's trust and the more likely they are to hire you and work with you. That is how you get your first few clients as a copywriter, right? That's how you do it. And you just be upfront and honest with people. Say, hey, look, completely brand new to this copywriting game, but I've been working my ass off, learning, and here's some of the practice pieces I've done. I notice on your website you've got X, Y, and Z that could do with tweaking. Here's a couple of headlines I've written for you, or bullet points could be improved. All this stuff is showing value to the brand or business owner or whoever's in charge of the marketing or copywriting. Show that. That'll give you the best chance of getting a client, right? So how do you get your first client? Because, you know, you could spend a lot of money, a lot of time, energy, and building a website. I'm telling you now, you don't need a website. You don't need any of this stuff. You need a presence on social media, Instagram account, LinkedIn maybe, somewhere that shows you're a genuine human being. And then what you're going to do, you're going to reach out to 10, 20 small brands and do exactly what I've just described. You're going to go and look around their site and see if there's anything that you can improve or make better for them. And you're just literally going to reach out to them and say, hey, I noticed this on your site. Maybe this is a better idea to tweak things. Literally offering value with no anticipation of getting anything in return. That's the key here, right? Don't expect them to come back to you and pay you money or anything like that just yet. Just go out and put in the hours and work, find these brands, and just show that you're a genuine human by pointing out things that maybe they could make better, optimize, and help them make more money. That's all people are looking to do in business, right? If you're in business, you're looking to increase your profits, get more clients, sell more of the widgets, things, everything. That's fundamentally what business owners want to do. And if you can show a brand that you can help them do that, guess who they're going to give some money to? You, the copywriter. So that's how you do it. And you're going to need to reach out to maybe, 20, 30, 40 plus small brands until you start getting responses and helping people. Just keep doing this, right? Do this for a solid week or two. Don't message one or two brands and then give up, because some people will ghost you, some people will not respond to you. But trust me, it's a numbers game, this. And when you're getting your very first client as a copywriter, it's all about building momentum and getting confidence and belief within yourself. Because the more confidence you have, the more belief in yourself as a writer you have, and that's how you can grow as a copywriter. Now, when you speak to a brand, and maybe a brand wants to work with you more, or they ask you about your services and stuff, I'll get onto services and offers very soon. The only thing you need to get when you've done some work for your first client is a testimonial, a case study. That's the only thing you need to focus on. Forget about the money for now, because people, brands, businesses, myself, will hire copywriters based on results. And there's nothing more powerful than a testimonial or written words from somebody else you've gotten results for who is a similar client. Nothing more powerful. So instead of you having to always do the selling, let your testimonials do the selling for you. Go out and get testimonials. You'll see on every successful brand's website, they'll have a bank of testimonials. That is the selling power. So always focus on getting testimonials, good words, before and afters, how much you've increased someone's revenue or profit by, how much you've reduced churn by, how much you've increased conversion rate from ad spend, anything. Get those figures from clients. Forget about the money. If it does lead to long-term clients, fantastic. But in the beginning, you want case studies. Now, once you've got a couple of clients under your belt and you've done a little bit of work and you've started to figure out what your offer and niche is, you want to productize your service. And what I mean by this is you want to systematize things as much as possible. So look at what you're offering and see if you can streamline it to one thing. So maybe you write high converting landing pages and email sequences that turn cold prospects into hot buyers. That could be an offer for you, right? And then you offer that to every single fitness coach, e-commerce brand, whoever you decide to work with. That's your offer. And in the beginning, again, how much should you charge? Money is so elastic. Charge what you're comfortable with charging. I don't like this question because it's so different for everyone, because depending on where your money thermostat is set, you could be comfortable charging higher amounts, lower amounts. It's one of these things where you have to keep just building confidence and increasing your prices as you go. But at the same time, when you're new, you probably don't have the authority to say, I'm charging premium prices in the copywriting space, because you've got no results to prove for it. So charge an amount of money that makes you look and feel legit and premium. Not the lowest of the low. That's ridiculous. You want to put bread on the table, right? So go somewhere in the middle where it's kind of pushing you out your comfort zone a little bit. So maybe a 5 email sequence, 10 email sequence, and a high converting landing page copy, £500 to £1,000. That's how you reach your first £1,000 in 30 days as a copywriter. You need 2 clients at £500 in 30 days. Now, I'll ask you a question, you put them in the comments below. Do you think you can find 2 people in your niche that you could charge £500 to rewrite or write a brand new email sequence and a landing page? I would argue you can, but let me know in the comments what you think, right? It's really, really simple, and it is all in the mind. Now, in the beginning, you're going to be doing a lot of outbound marketing. You're going to be going out to get clients. You're going to be reaching out to these brands to get them. So outbound for a lot of people is scary, it sucks. You have to go through this. It gets easier the more testimonials you get and the more confidence you build in yourself. That's from experience. I know that to be true. Now, when it comes to outbound, how do you DM someone? How do you message someone? Don't just message a copy and paste message. You can spot that a mile off, and it is so frustrating. Make somebody a personalized video or something super simple and easy to consume that points out a problem and how you can fix it, and just give them the solution. Give away what you know. This demonstrates value. That is how you get clients, and that's how you grow your client base. And those client base turn into long-term paying clients, and then those long-term paying clients refer people to you, and so on and so forth. So what's going to separate the high-paid copywriters and just the average copywriters in 2025? Well, one, you need to leverage AI. Don't rely on it, leverage it. Two, big thing of mine, separate your thinking from your writing. Now, you don't have to be good at writing to be a good copywriter. That's what a lot of people seem to think. I'm not very good at writing. I did okay at school in writing, but it's more that you understand the psychology and the people you're writing for and marketing as a whole, and then apply copywriting to that. You don't have to study writing. You have to be great at English language or English literature. Just understand your audience, understand the product you're selling, and if you imagine a bridge between those two, that's the copywriting. That's where the money is, okay? That's what you have to focus on. So, if this has been useful and interesting to you, thank you very much. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions on this. And I have a course as well, which I will put in the description below for those of you who want to take the next step and want a bit more of a detailed roadmap with how to navigate things as a copywriter this year in the landscape of AI. It's all in there in the description. There's a link there, go check it out. And YouTube will also recommend some videos up there which it reckons you'll like next.